Nadia Bloom. Nadia Bloom, 11, was reading the book Lanie by Jane Kurtz. Her younger sister noted her sitting on the couch for hours, lost in a book about how people survive in the jungle. Nadia was born with attention deficit disorder, anxiety, and autism, with characteristics described as Asperger's. Nadia was gifted in verbal communication, but was behind in nonverbal. Despite having so many disabilities, Nadia loved nature and wildlife. She was eager to learn more and more about animals. When she went on trips, she would take a digital camera with her to take pictures and make videos of things that inspired her. Her book reading habit increased her knowledge of wildlife. In 2010, Nadia suddenly disappeared while riding a bike around the cul-de-sac in her Winter Springs neighborhood. The last time she was seen was around 3:15 p.m. in the same area. For hours, her mother, siblings, and neighbors tried to search for her, but when they found her abandoned bike and helmet left on the handlebars, they quickly called the police. Her mother told the police that Nadia left their house wearing a black backpack with a horse on it that may have had a camera and a digital recorder. Winter Springs Police Chief Kevin Brunel interviewed her friends, neighbors, and people who saw her riding the last time. Brunel realized after talking to Nadia's sister that she may have gone to the forest hoping to make a nature video. But with so many disabilities, it was difficult for her to remember the direction in which she was heading. Nadia's parents were worried about her and requested the rescue team to leave water bottles and notes with instructions to help her find the way out of the forest. Trained search teams were navigating through the 2-mile radius where police found her bike near Florida Lake Jessup Forest. The most disturbing thing was that the forest had numerous alligators. There were 2 substantial alligator-infested ponds, a vast forest, and more than 100 homes in the gated community where the family lived. Tourists normally go inside the forest with machete knives and waist-high boots to get through it. The forest was filled with mosquitoes, flies, gnats, snakes, and alligators. It was a deadly area for those who lost their way. The rescue team feared that if Nadia had entered that area, there would be 0 chances of her survival. Search dogs, dive teams, a helicopter, and a sonar vehicle were continuously on the ground, searching the 15 feet deep, pitch-black waters. Police Chief Kevin Brunel tried his best to search and find any clues she may have left behind, but unfortunately, there was nothing. He said, "We don't have a lot of evidence to work with, so we have to treat this as one of 3 scenarios: a kidnapping, lost injured, or runaway." Brunel also told the authorities to visit all registered sex offenders in the area, but nothing was found. They distributed flyers with Nadia's picture on them and investigated every lead. Brunel found Nadia's parents and family members to be very cooperative. Even after 3 days, they were hopeful that Nadia would return. It was complicated for 11 years old to survive in wildlife and conditions in the area without food or any help. With every hour passing, the hope for Nadia's return was diminishing. The 3rd full day of ground searching continued with as many as 70 people. Teams combed the heavy woods, leaving messages and water for Nadia. Crews with search dogs looked in the open fields as far as a mile away. Overnight, sweeps by helicopter using body heat sensing technology captured little. The night approached with great disappointment and grief. Nadia's mother cried bitterly, thinking that her daughter might be no more. The dawn of the 4th day arrived with great desolation and feelings of blue. The rescue team was still searching for the beautiful little girl, but the hopes for her survival were dead. She never received those water bottles or the notes that the rescue team left for her. One of the rescue members, James King, was very hopeful and felt like he was very close to Nadia. Over 72 hours passed, but he was still searching for her. He was trying to find her in places that had not been searched yet. He was walking in the middle of the swamp when he saw a bush moving, and the next moment his eyes were wide open in shock. He couldn't believe his eyes and was still staring at the bushes. The rescue team received a faint yet cheerful call, letting Central Florida Police know that after 4 days of searching and lots of prayer, they had found missing 11-year-old Nadia Bloom. "Hi, this is Nadia, and I'm the girl that got lost," she said from deep inside an alligator-infested swamp in Winter Springs. James King found her in a dry patch in the middle of the swamp. He ran towards her in joy and told her to give the news of her survival to the rescue team by herself. It was a miracle that came true. Otherwise, living in a swamp for 4 days without any help was unbelievable. "Hey, I've got her," King said in the 911 call. "I've got Nadia." The discovery was welcome and rare in a state plagued with missing children. After getting rescued, Nadia told the rescuer, "I'm glad you guys found me, and I can't believe you guys rescued me." As they waited for rescuers to arrive, King gave her a nutritional shake, an apple, and some water. During the 911 call, King asked Nadia if he could take her photo. "So you can show how God protected you." "Sure," Nadia replied. King then unfurled toilet paper around a tree in an attempt to draw attention to where they were. Authorities found them in the swamp using cell phone signals and GPS coordinates. The news spread like wildfire in the neighborhood. Everyone was rushing to Nadia's home to congratulate her parents. King and the rescue team quickly drove Nadia to the closest hospital, where doctors said that Nadia was doing perfectly well. Dr. Rakesh Parekh, the medical doctor at South Seminole Hospital, told reporters that Nadia was smiling and had some bruises and bites. She was getting intravenous fluids for dehydration. When King found her, Nadia was very calm. She was very matter-of-fact. There was no panic. "If I never believed in miracles before, I sure do now. Children can be very resilient, especially Nadia, and she surprised a lot of people today," Brunel said. It took nearly 2 hours for rescuers to carry Nadia out of the thick brush and swamp. Brunel added that the detectives questioned King about the rescue and wanted to speak with Nadia about how she spent her time while she was missing. The only thing Nadia told them was that she had not talked to anyone since going into the woods. Jeff Bloom, Nadia's father, said that the last 4 days were the most difficult of his life. Each evening as night fell, he thought about his daughter, alone in the dark. "Your heart just breaks," Jeff Bloom said. "When the darkness comes over, that just adds to the uncertainty." Nadia was one of the lucky people who survived the deadly forest. There are numerous cases when children or even adults never make it out of the swamps. Despite being disabled, the girl knew very well that she needed to stay away from the deadly ponds and managed to live for 4 days. She patiently waited for help and was glad she was leaving the forest safely. That's a wrap for today. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up, share, and subscribe to the channel to see our latest content.